All right, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 28 of the Gridiron Pulse. Joined here by my esteemed co-hosts. How we doing today, boys?
Pretty good, man. Can't complain.
Yeah, same
Another
here.
day.
We got the full squad here today again. I want to say, how many episodes have we had with the full? Like 4 or 5, I want to say, maybe. It hasn't been
With all
very
three
many.
of us?
Yeah,
I think like five. The
5, yeah.
debut draft, NFL draft episode was a draft spectacular, of course.
Yep, man. It's crazy to think that that
We
was,
don't, go
what
ahead.
was that, April?
Yeah,
Something like that. Crazy to think
Yeah,
about.
end of April.
yeah. That was a long time ago. We got some good views on that one. That was good. We don't have too much to go ahead and talk about today, but we got a couple fun games, and then we got at the end we got our Dynasty preseason power rankings. Now that we've had the game for a couple of days, gotten to play each other, at least us three have for the most part, and should be pretty fun. Might not go for a full hour, but I think we could definitely eat up plenty of time here. So we can go ahead and start off with some just a little Georgia baseball news that we've gotten throughout the timeline over the past couple of days. We got a pretty nice commit from he's a top 50 player in the transfer portal, Bryce Callaway from New Orleans. He's a two-way player, pitched to a 4.26 ERA last year, and then very good bat as well, hit 390 with 18 home runs. That's it's pretty much exactly what we're looking for. I think we have the number one class in the portal. We're up to almost, I think, 20 commits, and I think 18 out of the 20 or 19 out of the 20 are in the top 250, and then like 10 or 11 of those are in the top 50. So we lost a lot, but we gained a lot. I guess that's how Mike White's gonna be. He's gonna be Mr. Deion Sanders in the portals, bag tossing everywhere.
Yeah, I like this commit when I saw it on Twitter. Definitely um what we needed Georgia baseball. Makes it Jacob lost a lot of guys, but also got a lot of guys in the transfer portal. So I'm very excited about this one. Really good two-way player. Definitely need some pitching. So any amount of pitching helps, and it's also good that he has a really good bat as well.
No, yeah, pretty much same thing as Carter said. I will say, I feel like Wes Johnson has been he's been a portal king when it comes to the baseball team the past couple offseasons. I remember last year, of course, we lose Charlie Condon and we lose a bunch of bats, and we are just wondering how we're going to replace all that. But we got a pretty good portal class last year, and now this year, once again, good portal class. So that's good to hear. You, Jacob, you said we have the number one class currently in the
Yep.
portal. Sweet. So. Hey, I mean, right now, college baseball is a little bit on the down low, but it's the moves that you make now in the summertime that come next year when we're in Omaha. We're gonna be like, remember when we talked about that? Let's go.
Bryce Callaway led us in both hitting and pitching to Omaha, along with his two-way player comrade Shohei Ohtani,
Yeah.
Georgia's version.
Yeah, not quite Shohei, but plays like Shohei, so we'll see.
What was his name? I forgot. I feel bad for
Um,
not knowing his name. I called him Shohei Ohtani from the rip.
I can't remember what his name is, but he was a really good portal get, so can't
Yeah,
can't deny that.
it's pretty much all we got here on the baseball. It's just, I mean, that there's a chance that could be our last commit. It seems like we got a pretty full class, having almost 20 players in there. But we got some SEC Media Days news that's coming up here. Is it this upcoming Monday or the next week?
Uh, Next week?
I think it's next week. But anyway, we
Yes.
have Gunner, CJ Allen, and Dalen Everett have been named as our representatives. And I guess this all but confirms that Gunner's going to be the starter. They wouldn't bring him to Media Days and then start Pug week one, but that's uh, that's old news for us at least. I think I think we got a good team under Gunner. I really like the trajectory of this year. I think we're going to be well above solid.
Yeah, I agree too. Yeah, I it, like you said, Jacob. That pretty much confirms that Gunner is the guy. I mean, they're not just gonna bring him and be like, "Oh yeah, by the way, Ryan Puglisi is actually starting, so get screwed, buddy." But no, it definitely also shows that Kirby's really confident about him because I'm not sure, was Carson back at media days last year? Okay. Um, so yeah, I mean he's already earned Kirby's trust, so should be interesting to see. I'm ready for the usual Kirby Smart, mic drop or this like the slogan of the year. Whenever SEC Media Days comes up, so very excited for that.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. This is when you usually get like when we're midway through the season and we're playing a hype video before a game that some TikTok account made. They're gonna sample some quote that Kirby said in SEC Media Days, and it's gonna cut to like some crazy like transitions that a 12-year-old put into CapCut, and it's somehow the greatest edit of all time. That's what I'm looking forward to. Because every single year, like you said, it's of course there was the keep chopping, keep the main thing the main thing. I think last year it was assume nothing. Um,
We will not be hunted.
you will not be hunted. That was the back-to-back
That
year.
was the
Yep,
best one.
that was the best one. Um, dude, if we had thought through it, we could have brought our predictions of what we think the slogan of the year is going to be. Get back to me on that because I'm gonna stew on this one.
Hmm. Probably something to do with like resilience or something.
Got yeah. Like, the the mindset or like change the narrative.
It's gonna. I feel like it's gonna be a combination of like I don't know because I feel like Kirby's not a big like take motivation from the year before. Like that's not his thing. His thing is like every year is a new year and like every team is different. So I kind of hesitate to say anything of like prove him wrong, because he doesn't really like care about that. So I don't know.
Should just
Maybe
take it back to a classic: clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose.
clear, yeah, clear. Yep. I could see that. I could see him, yeah, just being like, I was gonna do like an impression, but I don't really think I'd do a good one. So, hey, clear, gentlemen, clear the mechanism.
We've heard all the noise in the off season about how we're not going to be that good.
Yep.
Seven and
This
five.
year's actually been like true. That's not like
Yeah.
internal bringing up beliefs of false narratives. Like I've seen many 8-4 predictions, not as low as 7-5, 8-4, 9-3, missing the conference championship, missing the college football playoff. That's all like that is very real. That is not Kirby Smart auto generated sitting in a chair in his office. So there's definitely some doubt, but I will say, this is one of the teams that I'm a little bit more confident in for sure. I was obviously incredibly confident last year because I thought Carson was going to take a step up, not two steps back, and then throw out his UCL. But that definitely didn't happen. And then the whole Miami thing with the girl and the transfer, and that was just, it was bad vibes all year, essentially, from like the end of the summer into week one and just all throughout the year. But I think this team's going to be definitely built a little bit different than last year's team. They're not going to be, the slogan's got to be something like simple, just like, don't be soft, or like,
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
or like do your job. Like
Dude,
Just
that's
pull
gonna
up,
that's
be
it.
Bill Belichick said. That's gonna be North Carolina's this year. It can't be.
just
Do your job.
just have
Don't
the
be
uh
soft.
the picture or the video of Will Muschamp punching a whiteboard on repeat.
Dude, I will say, like this year, the more that I think about last year, I know a football season gives fans like roller coasters of emotions, but I would challenge any fan base that went through the roller coaster that Georgia did that whole season. All right, let's go back to week 1 against Clemson. We are terrible in the first half. Like, I think we scored 3 points in the first half, but then we end scoring 34 points. So it went from, oh, shoot, are we not as good to, oh, yeah, we're back. We beat Clemson 34-3. Play a few cupcakes. We're playing against Alabama. We look like the worst team of all time in the first half. Oh, shoot, I guess like Alabama just owns us. To taking the lead. Oh, we're the best team of all time. This is going to be the greatest comeback ever. To, oh, wait, never mind. Alabama just ends up beating us in the end anyway. To then, oh, we're going to Texas. Oh my gosh, we beat Texas. We're the greatest thing since sliced bread. And then later, oh, but we lose to Ole Miss on the road, so like we're not like that great to begin with. But is Ole Miss good? No, but Ole Miss lost to Florida to, oh, beat Tennessee to, oh, are we gonna lose to Georgia Tech? Like, you see what I'm saying here, bro? That year was insane. The more that I think about it, and then to of course losing to Notre Dame and only scoring 10 points. Now that I
Yeah, I
talk
mean,
through it,
we did
maybe
not
just
put
get some more
together four.
consistency.
We did not put together 4 quarters of football last year. Like even in our good games, our best games, like we didn't. Like you said, the first half of Clemson, the first half of Texas, Carson threw 3 picks. I mean, I'm pretty sure we were still up at halftime, but it was
Yeah.
sloppy.
We
Yeah.
were winning like by 2 scores in that first Texas game. Oh, and then I didn't even mention the SEC championship too, where it looked like we were going to lose that one too. So, but yeah, the first game against Texas, we were up pretty much by 2 scores the whole game. But then Texas almost made a little bit of a rally whenever that pass interference is overturned. And then we're backed up at our own 10 because Anthony Evans like brought out the kickoff. Did I don't know, but yeah. Point is, last year there was no sense of continuity of just, all right, we've established, like usually Georgia teams in the past, like we're figuring ourselves out, and then that last half of the year, it's like very much we know what we are. Even 2024, when we lost to Alabama in the SEC championship, that was just, I mean, that was just a good game that the ball just didn't bounce our way, but we were still consistently good after barely beating Auburn that year. So we just need to get back to that.
I agree. If I were to make like a game on like the I guess the quote unquote um like the game the game was pretty much like continuity like what you said, Cole, I would probably have to say the first Texas game just because I mean besides Carson Beck throwing 3 picks, I mean the defense was nails from the very start of the game. They had Quinn Ewers and Arch Manning both in hell that entire game. So that's probably the game now that it was like I guess the continuity of both sides of the ball playing well.
I would argue that it was the Tennessee game personally, because that was one of Carson Beck's best games. I think we fell behind 10-0 in that game, or 7-0 or something in that game, which I mean we were just slow starting the whole year, but it felt like that game was the most like okay, like this is Georgia, this is like we are Georgia, like home game, like we just I don't know. That was probably it for me because both games against Texas, like even the first game against Texas when it was 23-15 and they made that comeback, I was a little worried there. And then like we just held on because our quarterback threw 3 interceptions. But I feel like that Tennessee game was kind of at least everything came together as close as it possibly did. And then of course Ole Miss game, the one that I went to, that one was just like the biggest. It just isn't our day thing
We
of all
played
time.
terrible for the whole game. We didn't even give you one good half in that one. Yeah, last year was definitely like the definition of a roller coaster season, and we still ended up 10-2 with an SEC championship win, or what was it, 11-2, 11-3 with the loss against Notre Dame. So, I mean, if that's our floor, good with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
But we need to be able to maximize our ceiling by putting together full games. Like we need to beat the crap out of some of these teams early on, and then it's boom in Neyland Stadium right away. Clear it out like a house fire, dude. Clear it out in the first quarter. You know it's going to be rocking. Thankfully, it's not a night game. It's a 3:30, just like every single game that we play this year, which I don't mind. I think that's like my favorite time slot for football. But like on the odds of you having something to do that Saturday, it would probably be around that time. But we always make sure that there's nothing that we're obligated to. But yeah, we need to clear out Neyland like a house fire, and then we got bye week and then Bama. Got to set the tone. Bama at home, come out like they did against us last year at home, except don't let off the gas. I mean, they could have easily had us like 56-7 last year, something like that. But I mean, they just essentially kind of let off the gas, which is something that we've been known to do in big games too. I mean, you try to run the ball if you get up early, like establishing the run in the second half, and the defense knows that and makes it much more difficult. But being able to execute on that and just put together a full game every game, at least like 3 quarters. I mean, just going half good, half bad is not a recipe for success.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Well, now one more thing I want to touch on is like it's giving me, I guess, maybe a little bit of a false sense of confidence going into this year. Is like we do have a new quarterback, but he does have some experience. But so does everyone else in college football. Like all like your big name, really good teams, like they're all having first year starters. Even if one of them's Arch Manning. I know, Arch Manning, Gluck, Gluck, whatever. He's okay. He was okay last year, and he's got the same amount of experience as Gunner does.
No, dude, but
But
he threw
not
for
in like,
300 yards and 3 touchdowns against Mississippi State, though. You forgot that.
what did he do against Louisiana Monroe, Cole? I forgot.
I, I don't know, dude. All I know is he
I
looked
mean,
special when he was there.
yeah, Ohio State having Julian Sayin, Bama's got Tyler Simpson. Tennessee now has the guy from App State who was, yeah, he was the guy from App
Well,
State.
also, speaking of that, I feel like this is kind of an underrated storyline. So, Joey Aguilar is just presumed the starter. So, like, did Tennessee just miss on Merklinger? Because, like, how can you
What
tell me
about
an
George
abs
McIntyre?
or George McIntyre? Like, you're telling me a
He's the
guy
number
from
one quarterback, 5 star.
you're telling me a guy from App State who is turnover prone transfers into your program in like 4 months, he's just your starter over the guy that's like the two guys that have early enrolled and with Merklinger been there at this point a year and a half and McIntyre at this point a year. Like you're just telling me like like yeah they just don't have a chance. Like Aguilar is the starter. I think that's an underrated
I mean, if
story.
it's,
Like if these guys were as good as they were like touted out of high school, I feel like. But and again, I know Aguilar has experience and like he's played at like FBS football level, but you know what I mean? I don't know. That
like,
that's me.
he
Maybe I'm
wasn't even the
misreading
quarterback
something,
on,
but I don't know.
he wasn't even on like good App State teams. Like, it's not like they were a force to be reckoned with in the G5 last year. And it's also not like Tennessee's got a huge playbook or a big offense to learn. They have like 6 plays. It's like me running college football. 26. We
All
got
right,
like
boys.
6 plays. Some of them work, some of them don't.
All right, boys. You see this playbook? All right, just literally everyone go deep.
Go
That's
deep,
literally your entire playbook.
go
That
deep,
or
or line up on the
slants.
sideline and run slants. I mean,
Michael Thomas would be proud.
yeah, you would think it would be. I mean, if it was me, why would you even bring in the transfer? Like, it would pretty obviously be a pretty strict quarterback battle between Merklinger and George McIntyre. Two, like you said, Cole, very highly rated recruits, with McIntyre being 5 star, top 3 quarterback in his class, who I know we were pretty heavy in on too. So, I don't know. I guess Joey Aguilar it is. E- Either one of the three, it don't matter. It's a new quarterback, and he ain't as good as Nico. So, I'm not saying Nico's a world beater by any means, but he definitely showed some signs of being a good quarterback last year.
Which
Yeah.
speaking of Jacob, that's actually honestly a good segue because I knew we were going to talk about SEC media days and kind of going through this. So obviously all the SEC coaches come up and they give their monologues and they answer questions. But this got me thinking, who is going to win the press conference and which coach do we think is going to lose the press conference? And in talking in this situation, I think I have a pretty clear definitive coach that I think is going to win just by the default of the situation that he's in. You guys want to hear it? Or do you want to try to guess first?
Uh, I want to do like a meme answer, but I know it won't be it. Um, is it Josh Heupel?
Yes. And I'm going to tell you why here. Josh Heupel is going to have probably the most softball questions known to man of Coach Heupel, Nico left your program and you could have kept him. Why did you not negotiate with him? And he has this is the most chat GPT answer you come up with. He said, we're not one player, we're a program, and one player is not going to define who we are as a program. So we believe in the guys that we have, try to make it to where you're putting yourself above the program like you're gonna have to go. And that's gonna get quoted
Compromising
on
your
Twitter and everyone's
teammates.
gonna be like, preach, Heupel, preach. Like he's gonna have the most easy cookie cutter answer to do. And while I agree with him, he's gonna be touted as like a hero of college football whenever this comes out. That's my prediction.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty safe one, honestly. I think that's a good answer for sure. It's really hard to mess that one up. I mean, you're literally compromising the salaries of your teammates. So
Don't put
we
yourself above the
over.
T.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, dude, that's
How many
perfect. It's
times are
like
you gonna say
it's
that?
not an I, it's a T, and the T right here. You take that bottom line off the T, and you just not the I. You take the bottom line off. It's the T right here. Power T. Let's go.
He did not give his all for Tennessee.
He's definitely gonna be lobbed so many softballs. How many times do you think up they're gonna? How many times do you think they're gonna bring up like the actual like good questions, like the quarterback battle, like what we were just talking about between Aguilar and the other two?
I mean, it'll definitely
Because
be
he should.
mentioned. Yeah, I mean, it'll just be like, we got three good players, and that they're competing. They come to practice every day and they compete. They all have different skill sets, and it's going to be made the best man win them. We might not know till week one or something like that.
I always look forward to Lane Kiffin every SEC media days because I think he's just funny for no reason at all. He has like that dry sense of humor to where it's kind of like awkward, which I think is hilarious. So I'm looking
Dude,
forward to hearing from him.
was it last year where he just straight up pressed Paul Feinbaum?
Yeah, I forgot
What
about
did he
that.
say to him? He was like, I can't remember what he said to him because it was one of those things where it wasn't at the podium, but like SEC Network was there and like Lane Kiffin came up and like Paul Feinbaum was asking him a question. He said something about Paul Feinbaum, like, I gotta look it up. What did he say to him?
It's it's been such a viral clip for so long. I can't believe I didn't remember it. But it was something about him getting fired somewhere, I think. Whether it would have been USC or Tennessee, I don't know which one, but what do we think Hugh Freeze's press conference is going to be like with all the golfing and the super, super bad recruiting?
I feel like he's the clear answer of who's gonna lose, just because once again he's in kind of a tough situation
Yeah, I
by his
there's
own.
like there's so many bad schools ahead of Auburn like in the recruiting rankings. It's actually like embarrassing.
Yeah. Cole, while you look for that, do you want to play the game?
Yeah, I'm down.
All right. I got the recruiting rankings pulled up in front of me, so no cheating. Don't look at them.
Oh,
This is
we
gonna
need to.
be
Yeah,
what?
yeah, we were just gonna lay the groundwork for what this game actually is. So essentially, what we're about to
Yeah.
do, we're about to play. Does this team have a higher or lower recruiting rank than Auburn? So let's get into it. Jacob's gonna list the team. We're gonna do this.
We'll just do better or worse instead of higher or lower, because that can be taken into different contexts. All right. We're gonna start off with my my new favorite team, my dynasty team, the San Jose State Spartans. Better or worse?
I mean, as much as I would love to troll Auburn and say better, there's just no possible way. It's got to be worse.
I'm gonna say
Carter?
better. I'm gonna say better.
San Jose State is the 8th ranked, so they are slightly worse with Auburn sitting at 81 right now. All right,
All right.
here's another one for you. Miami of Ohio.
Now, this is a Maction team right here. And if I
They have
remember,
they have a lot of commits.
okay, for reference,
Quantity over
how many
quality.
commits does Auburn have? Just for
Auburn
reference.
has 9.
Oh my God. So okay, so it's got to be Miami of Ohio for sure better than if they have a lot. They probably have like 25 or something.
I'm pretty sure I saw this already. I'm pretty sure it's better.
Yeah, it's better. The 76th ranked class with 24 commits. What about another Maction team, the Toledo Rockets?
I already know this answer because Jacob told me this before we got on here, but I'll let you go, Carter.
It's better.
Yeah,
It's one ranking better.
see, and here's the thing, like, yes, like this is trolling purposes, but it's also like crazy because the 2026 cycle is basically over. Every good, like high-ranked blue chip player is off the board. And I get like, oh, you can flip, it's not over till signing day, but the majority of the commits are gonna stick, and Auburn's gonna have to scramble.
Yeah, that's that's so bad. All right, what about Colorado?
I mean, I know they probably have like six commit or like six or nine probably because they. I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna go better.
I think this is a trick question. I'm gonna go worse.
It was a trick question. It was worse.
Ooh.
Colorado has the 94th ranked recruiting class right now with 7 commits.
Eon, bro, what are
That's
you doing?
crazy.
Oh, which speaking of,
Crazy.
Coach Prime brought Juju Lewis to Big 12 Media Days. So pretty sure that just confirms he's starting. Pretty sure.
Over Caden Salter?
Salter? No way.
Yeah.
He's good. There's
He's
no
like
way.
he's like an 88 in college football 26. I'm pretty sure he's like good, but
Dude, if Caden Salter would have dude, imagine if Caden Salter would have transferred back to Tennessee where he started his career. That would have been pretty sick, honestly. And I would have been a lot more
And
worried because Caden Salter's better than Joey Aguilar.
God himself.
Nico.
No, no. Remember they hated him all along.
It was the offense, dude. He just didn't like the offense. So he transferred to UCLA.
All right, let's continue on with this game. We had Miami of Ohio before. What about Ohio University, the
Not Ohio
Bobcats?
State.
No, not Ohio State.
What do you know about Parker Navarro? Remember that? You remember that cut?
No.
No, that was the famous Timothy Chalamet. He was predicting the MAC championship, and he was like,
Oh,
Parker
yeah, that's
Navarro,
right.
great dual threat quarterback. He's got some great skills. And it's like Timothy
That's
Chalamet
right.
knows who Parker Navarro is.
All nowhere.
That's
All nowhere.
right.
I'm gonna go worse. I'm gonna go worse.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go worse too.
It is worse. All right, we'll do one or two more. Coleman, what about your Colorado State Rams?
You see, with me at the helm for a few years, this is for sure gonna be better. All right.
Right.
I'm gonna say that they're better right now, though. I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna predict what their ranking is. So you said Auburn's 81.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say Colorado State is 73rd.
All right. Carter?
All right, I I don't know if any of y'all watch Uncle Lou, but he did this exact same video, and I'm pretty sure I saw Colorado State was better, and I'm gonna say like 75.
They're much better. 66. 21 commit.
Hey, we got to get that up. All right. We got to get that up, Rams. Come on. Let's go.
Alright, this one might throw you guys for a loop, or you might have already seen it. This will be the last one that we do. The new Michael Vick's either the head coach or the GM of this team,
Oh,
but
no.
Sacramento State,
Well, I know they just recently got a four-star wide receiver. I know that.
they did.
I'm gonna go. This is a trick question. You're gonna think we're gonna go to that and say better, but I'm gonna go worse.
It's better.
It
It's
is.
It's
better.
better.
It's a lot better. Dude, Sacramento State right now has the 52nd ranked recruiting class with 34 commits,
Shout out Michael
including that
Vick, man.
one, yeah,
Is he the
that one
coach?
4-star, and then they have 24 3-stars. So
Damn.
they're eating up that Southern California pipeline that we're all about to collectively eat up as well. But I mean, that is
Also,
wildly impressive. 24 3-stars for an FCS school.
Hugh Freeze shoved into a locker by an FCS school.
Not even to mention Dion, who is supposed to be recruiting the same general area in Boulder. I mean, that's ridiculous. Let me see if there's
also,
any other funny
fact
ones.
check. Michael Vick is not the head coach of Sacramento State. I think we were thinking of Norfolk State. That's where he is.
Is this Deshaun Jackson? Or no?
No, he's like Delaware State.
Oh,
The head coach
They're all
is
doing the same thing, but we got who is the head coach then?
Brennan Marion.
I don't know.
My boy Brandon.
I swear I thought it was Michael Vick. I guess not.
I did too, but yeah, it's definitely Norfolk State now that you think about it.
Yeah.
All right, how about Rutgers,
Oh,
the
better for
Scarlet
sure.
Knights?
Dude, Rutgers money line all day, every single Saturday. It's better.
25th class in the country right now.
Oh,
Damn. Okay, Rutgers. Okay.
Some other notable ones that are ahead of Auburn: 69 Fresno State, 68 Washington
okay.
State. They're not even in a conference. Uh, Drew San Diego State Aztecs, 65. App State, the Fighting Joey Aguilars, 58. South Florida.
Dang. More than I think about, dude, should we have let Vance take Auburn in our dynasty? You know, honestly,
You know
because
he wouldn't have done that if he had the chance.
no, he wouldn't have done
Even
that.
if we gave him the
Maybe we
opportunity.
should. Yeah. Dang.
Another sneaky bad class right now, South Carolina too. They're 70th behind San Diego State, Washington State, and Colorado State. And Missouri 75. Virginia Tech is one below Auburn at 82. These rankings in recruiting are just very interesting to look at. Navy has 50 commits right now. They're the 106th ranked recruiting class.
Shout out Navy.
50 is.
All right,
We don't
that
even
was
have
fun.
guys
I
that.
enjoyed that segment.
That's crazy.
Any other recruiting talk?
No.
No, that's pretty much it. I mean, yeah, like I said, the 2026 cycle is kind of winding down. Usually by the summer going into these kids' senior years is usually when most of them wrap up their recruitment. Now there's still flips to be had, but still, 90% of the blue chip players that are going to make a difference are off the board.
Might
South
as well look at
Carolina
the
being
top
that low
five
is
while we
crazy.
got them here too. Hmm?
South Carolina being that low is crazy to me. If they don't get any more recruits, they are beyond cooked next year,
Yeah.
or unless they cook in the transfer portal. I don't know.
They could. UFC still has the number one class right now, 31 commits. Then A&M is number two, 24. Bama number three. Notre Dame number four, and we round out the top five. So it's a good class. We have 27 commits. Bama's up there with only 19 commits. They got so many 5-stars.
Shoved in a
It's not even
locker.
funny.
Not really.
Yeah. Tennessee has two 5-stars. They're the number seven class. Ohio State is six. Miami is eight, with Cantwell being their lone 5-star. Texas 12, Oregon 14. Oh, LSU just got the Lamar Brown, number one D tackle in the country. Commits to LSU over Texas A&M, Miami, and Texas. Good for them. I don't feel them as a threat.
Especially when you have Brian Kelly's the head coach.
Yeah, I mean, I think Nussmeier's good. I don't think he's like
World
superstar,
beater.
like great, but they got
Yeah,
a fairly solid team around him, an above average team for sure.
yeah.
Could be a dark horse
The more that I,
SEC championship.
the more that I think about it, like we don't really ever find ourselves in battles with LSU. Like the most recent one that I know is like it was CJ Wiley was either choosing us or LSU. Because he was gonna. Because was he a Florida State commit at one time?
Yeah, it was
Yeah, he
Florida
was.
State. His parents went to LSU,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
he lived in
But
Alpharetta.
yeah, but other than that, like we don't really find ourselves like our main recruiting battles that we come up against in the SEC at least is Alabama,
Texas.
Auburn here and there, Texas now,
Clemson,
Florida here and there.
but
But yeah, and man, sometimes Vanderbilt when we flip their four-star corner.
I
oh god,
guess you could also say Florida.
I said that.
Oh,
There you go.
Clemson too. Don't really see South Carolina in there too much, but they're definitely
yeah.
a slight
Auburn every
move.
once in a blue moon.
If coach gets off the golf
Tennessee,
course. Tennessee too. Ohio State now. Speaking of which, is Tyler Atkinson. It's
Miami.
gonna be. You think he's going to Miami?
No, I was just saying like recruiting
Um,
battles.
Atkinson's down to Texas, Georgia, Clemson, and
Oregon,
Florida.
Oregon.
Oregon.
Oregon. Okay. Yeah, so big time
Yeah,
national recruit there. I like our
yeah.
chances there.
On the Hayes Fawcett post, it said that he is like late July is his recruitment date, but he didn't give like
We
a
have
specific
a couple that are supposed to pop off on July 12th here, so
pro
I guess
throw.
this Saturday, Caden Prothrow. And that safety that his name is slipping my mind right now.
Tariq something. I want to say he's a Buford
Yeah,
kid.
Tyreek Green.
Yeah,
Sound right? I think that sounds right. Yeah, 5-star tight end, 4-star safety. I don't know too much about the Green kid, but that sounded interesting. But I would really like to land Caden Prothrow. I think we're recruiting him as like a Noah Thomas archetype wide receiver. I think with how deep our tight end room is, there's no way he would even be considering us if we weren't.
Yeah.
physical route runner as CFB 26 archetypes are.
I would agree with that. All right, staying on the CFB 26 topic, we have each made our own Dynasty preseason power rankings. After having played each other a couple times, I've obviously played most of the people. I think I've played a couple more of the guys than you, considering Henry's my brother and he is right there right now playing the game. So I play him quite a bit. And I would like to hear y'all's rankings first.
I can just go ahead and get this one started. So again, these are a mixture of like Jacob's the only one that I've played so far. Of course, my brother Cade, I've played him in video games throughout the years. But based on information I've been given, and I will say for my rankings, like I told you guys, I'm taking player skill mostly into account because the team overalls are pretty similar. So here we go. Number one preseason rank, the UNLV Rebels, Carter. Shout out, heard you have been doing your thing and that you kind of got a squad on your hands because I forgot you have Alex Orji, who will be kind of a tough cover in the game with the mobile quarterback. At number two, I got Henry. I have heard good things about his game and how he and Jacob typically have battled back and forth, but from what I've heard, it's typically like a 52-49 split in terms of those games with Henry and Jacob, and he is the Wyoming Um,
Cowboys.
Cowboys, the Wyoming Cowboys. Number three, I got Jacob on here. Me and Jacob played each other actually with our respective squads, Colorado State and San Jose State, and he beat me
The
17 to
Fighting
14.
Spartans.
Fighting Spartans. He beat me 17 to 14. It was a pretty good game, so those will be very good matchups. Number four, I got my brother Cade, who has the Fresno State Bulldogs. I went back and forth between me and him, but I would say that he's typically been better at me than pretty much any video game in our life, so I put him above me just because by default it seems like the safe bet. Number five, I have myself. Um, I will say I like my quarterback situation here. I did not think I would, but I think I got a good quarterback room, not just starter, but room. So better watch
Not to
out.
mention Orlando High School's finest.
Yeah,
And
Kojo
Rocky
and
Beers.
yes, and my tight end's name is Rocky Beers for like 100%. He's a senior though, so he's only gonna be your one here, unfortunately. Number six, I got Drew, who is the
Sandy.
San Diego State Aztecs. Number seven, I have Mitch, which we have a new member on the Dynasty, Mitch, who is me and Jacob's friend that we knew from our time in Athens. And at number eight, rounding out the rankings, I have Vance, and he might have the best team, but there's a reason we gave him the best team is because we know that he's probably going to struggle the most. So it, if I had to put an equivalent of Vance winning the conference, I would probably say that's like what?
Mississippi State winning the SEC. Which has literally never been done before.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of like a Big Ten equivalent. Like I'd put him like Northwestern, man, winning the Big Ten. That's a little disrespectful, honestly.
That's worse.
Maybe like a maybe like a Rutgers winning the Big Ten. How about that?
That's
A little
not
more
as bad as
respectable.
Northwestern, but still.
Regardless,
Northwestern,
probably is not
Rutgers,
going to happen.
Purdue, you name it. They ain't winning the Big Ten.
So yeah, those are my power rankings. To recap: one Carter, two Henry, three Jacob, four Cade, five Cole, six Drew, seven Mitch, and eight Vance. So,
Alright, so yes, I'm gonna be that egotistical person. I'm gonna put myself at number one. I think me personally, I think I have the best skills of the group, but hey, I think I am known to blow leads, so I don't know, we'll see. But number two, I have Jacob. I have personally played Jacob, and I think Jacob is actually pretty good. So I respect the skills on you, my man. So I think you're gonna be a tough out in our dynasty. Um,
Like it, so.
um,
Good
three,
Spartans.
three, I have Cole. I think Cole has some good skills from what I hear. So I think Cole's also gonna be a tough out in the dynasty. Um, coming up soon. Number four, I have Henry. Same thing. I've heard Henry's pretty good at the game, or just good at video games. So should be interesting. Should be interesting to play him. Um, Number five, I have Drew. I've played Drew a few times. He actually beat me last night, so I'm currently on fraud watch. But Drew's not that bad. I he's decent at the game. So I think mainly all these guys are going to be tough outs in the dynasty. So Drew at number five. Six, I have Cade, which is Cole's brother. To be honest with you, I put these next three guys I haven't played, and I don't really know how good they are, so I don't really have too much to say. Um, so six I have Cole's brother Cade. Seven I have Mitch. I don't really know how Mitch is at the game, so I don't really have too much to say. And then number eight I have Vance, just from everything that I've heard. Um, we'll see. That's all I have to say.
bulletin board material. You got all the bulletin board material in the world, Vance. Come on.
I'll make sure and clip this and send it to him. My rankings are very similar to yours, Carter. All like one away from being the exact same. So I do have Carter at number one, and I am respecting my most recent head-to-head versus Henry and putting him at number two. Because when we played with these two teams, he did beat me on a game-winning field goal with Wyoming, 17-14. And I wasn't a big fan of that, to say the least. But in college football 25, I definitely beat him like 60 to 65% of the time. But then I
Different
got on
game.
a Call of Duty and I started playing a lot of Call of Duty. And he kept playing college football. So right now, I'm going to respect in the head to head. Him two, put myself at three. Also respecting the head-to-head between myself and Cole. If we played 100 times, I'd win 51 of them, and Cole would win 49 of them, I think. Is that's relatively accurate? We played like
Well,
3 times that first night. We have great games every time.
one could argue 50-50, but we're semantic splitting hairs at this point.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you did put me ahead of yourself in your rankings, so you agree with me. Drew, put him at number five. I would have put Cade at five, but Drew beat Carter last night. As we said, Carter blew a 14-point lead in the second half. Weren't using the teams, so can't hold too much into it, but I play Drew all the time. It's a lot like Cole, but I think I'd beat him 63 times out of 100. But don't tell him I said that. I won't send him this clip. I did beat him. I was Wyoming, Henry's team last night, and he was Arizona, and I beat him like 46-16 in 3-minute quarters. So he's kind of a pick machine if you let him be one. If you just kind of sit back and let him be a pick machine, he'll throw them to you. Put Cade at number six. I have no idea. No idea. Cole says he's good. I hope he is because everyone in this dynasty, except for maybe the last two, are like within splitting hairs of skill levels. Like every game's going to be competitive for the very most part, I'm thinking. Put Mitch at seven. Mitch is the only one besides, well, I guess, never played Mitch, never played Cade. I've probably played Mitch in like NCAA 14 or like Madden 19, something like that. I've known Mitch for a long time. Played a lot of video games, but again, mostly Call of Duty on that front. And then poor Vance, bringing up the rear with the bulletin board material. I mean,
Consensus.
he's got the best team. He's got the best recruiting grades by far, I
Best
might
school
add.
grades in general.
Yeah, everything that has to do with academic prestige or putting guys in the league. I mean, they've been around the block there at Stanford University. So he's gonna board material, and we will make these an ongoing power ranking. So after each week, we will adjust our power rankings accordingly to how the games go. But needless to say, I am quite excited for this. Yep, that's gonna be it. It's episode 28. We'll see you guys sometime next week.
Peace.